beautiful. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be a nice, clean, polite trial. I will not hesitate to eject people from the courtroom if they're repeatedly disruptive. Speak out of turn. And when I say me, I mean really questions gonna kick shit out of you. Try it. Alright, we will hear our opening statements for the prosecution and start the prosecution by saying the charges levied against Corporal Failure here.
The following charges have been levied against Corporal Failure. Violation of Imperial Legal Code, Section 19, Subsection 9, Part 77251, in contact with known illicit substances against the Empire. He is also in violation of Imperial Code, Section 33, Subsection 45, Part C1255, attempting to evade an officer of the law. He is also in violation of Imperial Legal Code, Section 19, Subsection 3, Part C.
Just say the violation. We don't need the code.
Bitch, I know this for a reason. You're getting the fucking code.
I don't need the code. Say the fucking reason.
Alright, fine. He resisted arrest. He attempted to dodge arrest. He had contact with a legal spice runner. He had possession of a legal spice runner by association.
Alright. And opening statements of the prosecution.
Let it be known through an investigation of Nova that the 91st bunks were seen as a massive source of spice-based influence on this ship. That being said, when charges were being pressed against Major Gold and Corporal Failure refused to give testimony in regards to the charge. He had also, during this time, attempted to resist arrest, break himself out, and incite rebellion in other clones by pleading that he was innocent. This is not the case. As a result, the courts have levied these charges against him. This is a court-martial level offense, as it is 2 Imperial high-level sanctioned court cases on top of it.
Alright. Thank you, prosecution. Will the defense please state their opening statements? Jedi meditating. The Jedi are all dead. That's your opening statement. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna let your lawyer say something too. Okay, never mind. Alright, you need a new lawyer. Who wants to represent Failure?
I'll be a lawyer. I'll represent.
You cannot represent both. Don't be dumb.
Yes, I can.
No, you will not represent both. Nope. The sergeant will represent Failure.
I got you.
Alright. I'll give you 30 seconds to deliberate before opening statements from the defense.
Alright. Well, my question, I do got to ask something to ask. Where did you find this spice you speak of?
Alright, it's not time for cross-examination. I'm just the impartial judge. That would be a question for Nova. Yeah.
This is your intro, Forster. You're explaining why you think the man is innocent.
Yes, this is your opening statement. Yeah.
First of all, you can't do guilt by association, because it was in his bunks doesn't mean he's the one that dealt the drugs or did whatever happened to them. Okay, they could have been planted there, someone else could have been using them, but if you don't have any proof of him using them, or dealing them, or using them, you can't do anything against him, because there's no evidence against it.
Don't forget the other 2 charges.
What are they?
There for the resisting arrest and possession.
Possession? What did he possess?
be possession of a narcotic. Spice. Alright.
Oh, let's probably plan it then, because my boy, he's failure. He'd never do that. And I did see the breaking out, but that wasn't his fault. Someone just tried to break him out. I don't know who it was, but that wasn't him. That was someone just tried to break him out.
That's not the
Fantastic.
resisting arrest charge. That's a
Oh
different
my
charge.
god, stop speaking out of turn! I will eject you from the courtroom. Alright. Alright, we will now have the prosecution introduce evidence.
Hazard.
Alright, I have the drugs found in 91st, or that were confiscated from 91st Bond. Do you wish to see them, Your Honor?
Let's say these are the drugs.
Alright. Also, we have video proof from the ship's cameras of him not only running from Nova, not only running from Nova, but trying to break out on his own and, well, evading arrest.
Alright. Any other pieces of evidence? Any witnesses you'd like to call?
We would like to call Sergeant Forrester to the stand.
This is weird, but I'm gonna allow it. You will call it the legal... the opponent's legal
It
team
happened.
to the
It's
stand.
happened. It's happened.
It's okay,
Oh.
I'm allowing it.
Sergeant Forrester, were you or were you not present with the individual Corporal Failure when Nova attempted to detain him just a few days ago?
It happened
I
yesterday.
don't remember. I was with
Speak out of turn.
I was with Billy, but I didn't realize Failure was getting arrested. I was just with
Was
Billy.
it not you screaming that Nova was clonist as Corporal Failure was being dragged through the main briefing room towards the brig?
When was this?
Yesterday.
Oh, I don't remember that. But I do admit there has been tensions on the ship between Imperials and clones, and it has caused major issues. And we have freedom of speech, okay? Saying that Nova's clonist is not against the law, okay? I'm not saying
Are you
all
not?
Nova clonists. Hazard's fine, but there's a couple other Nova that might have some corruption issues. But other than that, freedom of speech is a thing.
But are you not one who said that the Nova is corrupt? That you yourself have nearly been detained by Nova? Were you not
I've
arrested
been-
yourself last night?
I was not arrested. That was because you put an AOS on me because you were testing something out.
That's all Lucy, don't worry about that.
Bro.
Then is it so hard to believe that you are clearly defending this man purely for your hatred of Nova based off the evidence in this courtroom?
No.
That in truth all you do is you want to dig at Nova?
No, that is not the case. The only person I dislike in Nova is, what's his name? Zip Tie. I've had major issues with him. Hazard, I've only had great interactions with him. I have nothing against Hazard. It's only Zip Tie I dislike, and Zip Tie's not present, so therefore, I wouldn't have anything against Nova at this
But you
time.
admit you have a problem with an aspect of Nova, though.
Just Zip Tie. But Hazard ain't doing
Alright,
nothing
wrap
wrong.
up this line of questioning. It's going nowhere.
The prosecution rests. It shows clear evidence that this individual only seeks to be part of the defendant's counsel purely to dig at Nova.
This is not true.
They have no legal standing.
Any other evidence or witnesses the prosecution would like to call to the stand here?
I would like to call a Hazard to the stand.
Alright, granted.
Hazard, can you recount the events of detaining of Major Gold and Corporal Failure here?
Okay, at the time I wasn't Nova, I was just a normal trooper like everyone else, right? and I hear the AOS go out of one corporal failure and major gold. So I start helping the Nova in looking for the two fugitives, as they were at the time. And, well, when I found them, Corporal Failure had pulled out a weapon when I said, just come to the Nova and we'll deal with this peacefully. In return, I pulled out my own, just in case he decided to get hostile, and I watched him run down to the training room. Cleansing this in, I told the Nova that the fugitives were in main hangar bay pushing out. And I had continued to follow so I could give accurate information of their whereabouts, till the point that Failure was captured, of which he was found holding a gun out, presumably ready to shoot upon the Nova if they tried to arrest him.
So, would you care to describe the arrest of Failure? And would you care to say that, indeed, since he was classified as a fugitive, he did hide from the law, so to speak?
I can confirm that he was hiding, especially after being called to be dealing with things peacefully.
Now, having that been said, who was the arresting officer in this case?
It was, in turn, Zip Tie.
The same zip tie that Sergeant Forster has problems with? The same Nova that started this investigation and found the spice in question?
Yes, you are correct. That is correct.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Alright, thank you. Alright. Defense team.
Yes.
Does anybody like to call a stand? Any evidence they'd like to rebuke? Do your thing.
Well, I did like to say when they were searching for my client here, Failure, Failure did state exactly where he was, which was main hangar bay. He didn't lie to anyone saying that he was in different area. He said his exact location.
Objection?
Sustained. Go ahead.
First class Private Hazard had just stated evidence that he was accurately tracking this individual's location. He had not been keeping, had he not been keeping real-time location reports of Corporal Failure, then Nova would not have found him. Therefore, Sergeant's claim that he had told Nova, or that Corporal had told Nova where he was, is false.
Alright. Alright, we're gonna have Senior Operative Brute approach the stand for cross-examination. Defense will cross-examine first. Thank you. Thank you, Senior Operative. Alright, go ahead and speak, Sergeant Forster.
I like to agree with Brew here. Another thing you gotta keep in mind, you gotta understand that fear is a major factor here, especially with the tensions going on right now between the clones and the Imperial. The relations are terrible right now because they are the governors or whatever trying to get us clones replaced, and that'll leave us with nothing. And you gotta keep in mind, when he's getting chased and getting arrested by Imperials, he doesn't know what's gonna happen. He's scared for his life. He doesn't know what to do. Thinking about what. Keep in mind, what do you think is going on in his mind? His mind's racing. He can't think properly. You gotta keep that in mind. So, with the amount of going on, amount of stress he was going through, you can't really blame him for that. It was in pure fear.
Alright. Thank you. Alright. Let's see, prosecution, you got anything else? Otherwise, we're going to move to closing statements here shortly.
I do.
Alright.
Since
Go ahead.
when did clones become fearful? And as you said yourself, Senior Upper Brute, clones follow orders. But this clone did not comply to orders to assault himself and report to Nova. Instead, he resisted, regardless of what his commanding officer might have said. Why did this clone not immediately report to his senior officer? You can't talk out of turn, bud.
Negative. Negative, Ruth.
Can I continue?
Don't fucking throw the spice around.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
finishing
good
what I was
clones
just saying.
follow
Lance
orders.
Corporal, please stand to the side. Unfortunately, you've joined halfway through a court case.
Other side, over here
Other
is a
side.
tie.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, with the defense, would you please, they're going to call anybody to stand or rebuke any evidence, maybe question the accused? Throwing that out there for you.
Let's see. Well, I do gotta say one thing. Fear, we were only taught war. Okay, that's the only thing we know. We know how to fight in major scale battles and missions. We never have dealt, usually no clone has dealt with situations getting chased by, by security forces, okay? This is new to us, okay? This doesn't usually happen, especially, like I said, with the tensions going on. It's really high. And, well, I'd like to say another thing. Imperials have actually shot me for no reason. ISP yesterday, not this guy, it was a different guy. I think it was Silver. He did shoot me for no reason yesterday. Just to show that tensions are really high.
Alright. We will now move on to closing statements. The prosecution will give their statement first.
We believe the corporal failure violated several Imperial codes, and as such has failed to maintain his duty to this empire, and using the backbone of the defense's excuses, all clones before the Empire's foundation had to deal with the shock, who at that time were the equivalents of Nova, who did detain troopers, who did detain rogue sects, and at the end of the day we were trained to fight wars, yes, but not be fearful of our orders or our commands. At the end of the day, this clone chose to do that.
Alright. Any closing statements here from the defense before I make my verdict?
Failure, I say is not guilty. The reason for that is the drugs in the bunks that could have easily been planted, maybe by Superior, maybe by someone else. We don't know who planted them, but the failure wasn't the guy that put him there, okay? He's being set up. It may look bad, yes, but there's no evidence of his use or anything like that. Another thing is that, how do I explain this? Yes, shock, I understand. Yes, shock is a thing. But you gotta keep in mind, new security forces, the Imperial tension. It's hard to deal with, okay? Every now and then a clone gets scared, alright? Because we're taught to be fearless doesn't mean we always are.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna ask that the legal team step out of the courtroom briefly. Defense, go stand in the corner over there. Prosecution, go step outside the room.
I'm the bailiff here.
No, you're coming with us.
The question is the bailiff, actually. I appointed him. Alright. I'm conferring with you, my advisees. Given that he's already served time for these offenses, but they didn't actually refute any of the charges successfully. If you're afraid, that's still not a legal defense, and he still had the narcotics in his possession, and he resisted. I will find him guilty, but I'll consider time served done. Any objections to that? Yeah. Alright. Jesus Christ, I cannot. Oh my god, I'm stuck. There you go. Thank you, thank you. Fucking, I'm an idiot. Yes, please. There we go.
Alright. Yeah, watch out.
5 back-to-back events that day.
So in the future, Hazard, we have to.
Alright. I'm now ready to render my verdict. And just a gentle reminder here, do not speak out of turn until I'm done speaking. Alright. So, while there is the reasonable assumption of fear in the clone trooper, the charges were not refuted. That being said, he already served time for this sentence. He was jailed and arrested. We will consider time served, so he was found guilty, but he will serve no jail time. The narcotics are hard to place as his, but they're in his bunks. That one's just going to be kind of a wash, but he did resist arrest. If he was a clone trooper that follows orders, he would have turned himself in. But like I said, he was found guilty, but no further jail time will be done. We'll consider time served done. Thank you all. Case dismissed. You may now speak freely.
Oh, son.
Is it you $25,000 in legal fees?
About 25,000.
Oh wait. You owe me like $5,000 so I can get a skill point.
Failure, I don't owe you shit.
Hey, Hazard, you owe me $10,000.
Alright.
Bill, you owe me 5,000 for the legal fees.
It's at your feet.
Appreciate it.
Alright, how about this? 4,900. Wait, they stole your money? Wait. Sue them. If they beat you for your money, you can sue them for that.
No, he paid
I'm not
bail.
doing another court case. That one actually went off pretty well for a
He
Gmod
paid
court case.
bail.
I will tell you that
He
right
paid
now.
bail.
Oh shit.
Yeah, what's up, Brute? Fantastic. Oh god, I hate the sound of my voice. I hate seeing myself on the YouTube channel.